Selena Gomez and Betty Blanco officially tying the knot at a secret location in Montecito today. The only murders in the building star posting a video and photos to Instagram of the day.
In a year filled with nonstop headlines and celebrity drama, one theme rose above the noise: love. 2025 became the year when some of the world's biggest stars didn't just walk red carpets, they walked down the aisle. From secret ceremonies to headline-dominating luxury weddings, from Hollywood icons finally saying "I do" to surprise unions no one saw coming. These weren't just weddings, they were cultural moments. Moments that broke the internet, paused the gossip cycle, and reminded fans why celebrity love stories still matter. Tonight we're counting down the top 10 most memorable celebrity weddings of 2025. The ceremonies that defined the year. And trust us, number 1 changed everything.
One day after Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez tied the knot in a lavish star-studded ceremony in Venice, Italy, the pair make their first appearance as husband and wife.
Number 10, Mel B and Rory McPhee, a new chapter. Mel B's wedding in 2025 was more than a celebrity ceremony. It was a moment of renewal. After years of highly public personal struggles lived out in the public eye, this wedding symbolized a clear turning point. It wasn't about spectacle or proving anything to the world. It was about reclaiming happiness on her own terms. The ceremony reflected that shift. Elegant yet intimate, it felt grounded and intentional, surrounded by people who had supported her through some of her hardest chapters. Fans who had followed her journey saw the wedding as deeply emotional, a reminder that new beginnings are possible even after long periods of pain. More than anything, this wedding felt earned. It wasn't just a celebration of love, but of resilience, healing, and moving forward. In a year full of grand displays, Mel B and Rory McPhee delivered a wedding that resonated because of what it represented: a powerful new chapter. Number 9, Brody Jenner and Tia Blanco, Beachside and buzzing. Brody Jenner and Tia Blanco's wedding captured the effortless, sun-soaked spirit of California romance. Set against a beachside backdrop, the ceremony felt relaxed, natural, and unmistakably true to who they are. It was less about formality and more about atmosphere, ocean air, simplicity, and connection. The wedding quickly became a talking point online, blending reality TV attention with a genuinely laid-back vibe. Fans appreciated how unforced the celebration felt, especially compared to more lavish affairs dominating the year. There was no need for excess. The setting and the chemistry spoke for themselves. What made this wedding memorable was its ease. In a world of tightly scripted celebrity moments, Brody Jenner and Tia Blanco delivered something refreshingly authentic. Their ceremony didn't try to impress, it simply existed, and that's exactly why it stood out. Number 8, Téa Leoni and Tim Daly, longtime love finally sealed. After years together, Téa Leoni and Tim Daly's wedding felt like the natural conclusion to a quietly admired love story. Fans had long respected their relationship for staying out of the spotlight, and their decision to marry in 2025 carried that same understated grace. The ceremony was intimate and deeply personal, reflecting a bond built over time rather than headlines. There was a sense of calm and confidence to the moment, two people choosing commitment not out of urgency, but certainty. For longtime fans, it felt emotional, even reassuring. What made their wedding so meaningful was its patience. In an industry often driven by speed and spectacle, Téa Leoni and Tim Daly showed the beauty of love that grows steadily. Their wedding didn't shout for attention. It quietly earned respect, leaving behind a feeling of warmth and completion. Number 7, Patrick Schwarzenegger and Abby Champion. Hollywood meets high fashion. Patrick Schwarzenegger and Abby Champion's wedding felt like a seamless blend of classic Hollywood legacy and modern runway elegance. From the very first images that surfaced, it was clear this celebration would be as stylish as it was romantic. The destination ceremony reflected a refined aesthetic, combining cinematic charm with fashion-forward detail. Abby's modeling background brought a high fashion sensibility to the event, while Patrick's Hollywood roots added timeless appeal. Together, they created a wedding that felt luxurious without being overwhelming. Carefully curated, yet deeply personal. What truly elevated the moment was its balance. The wedding wasn't just about glamour, it was about partnership, growth, and stepping confidently into a shared future. In a year filled with extravagant celebrations, Patrick Schwarzenegger and Abby Champion delivered a ceremony that stood out for its effortless style and quiet sophistication. Number 6, Eric Stonestreet and Lindsay Schweitzer, heartfelt and joyful. Eric Stonestreet's wedding felt exactly like fans hoped it would, full of warmth, laughter, and genuine emotion. Known for his larger-than-life personality on screen, Eric shared a deeply personal and joyful celebration with Lindsay Schweitzer that radiated sincerity rather than spectacle. The ceremony was marked by heartfelt moments and an atmosphere of gratitude, reflecting a couple who truly embraced the meaning of the day. Friends and family described the event as emotional and uplifting, with humor and tenderness woven seamlessly throughout. It wasn't about impressing an audience, it was about celebrating love in its most honest form. What made this wedding so memorable was the joy behind it. In a year dominated by extravagant displays, Eric Stonestreet and Lindsay Schweitzer reminded everyone that the most powerful celebrations are often the ones rooted in authenticity, laughter, and the people who matter most. Number 5. Carly Rae Jepsen and Cole Marsden, Greif Nail, Low-Key Perfection. Carly Rae Jepsen's wedding was a quiet reminder that not every unforgettable moment needs to be loud. Known for her heartfelt music and thoughtful approach to fame, Carly chose an intimate celebration with Cole Marsden Greif Neal that felt warm, personal, and intentionally understated. There were no headline-grabbing spectacles or over-the-top reveals. Instead, the ceremony reflected a deep sense of balance between public life and private happiness. Fans admired how effortlessly the wedding mirrored Carly's personality, sincere, creative, and grounded. It felt less like a performance and more like a genuine milestone shared with those closest to them. What made this wedding truly stand out was its restraint. In a year filled with luxury and excess, Carly Rae Jepsen and Cole Marsden Greif Neal showed that simplicity can be just as powerful. Their celebration didn't chase attention, it earned it, leaving behind a sense of calm that lingered long after the headlines faded. Number 4. Kim Cattrall and Russell Thomas, Iconic and Unexpected. Kim Cattrall's wedding surprised fans in the most understated way. Long celebrated as an icon of independence and reinvention, Cattrall chose a quiet, intimate ceremony with Russell Thomas that felt both unexpected and deeply fitting. There was no grand build-up, no media frenzy, when just a refined moment that reflected where she is in life. Set against a timeless backdrop, the wedding carried a sense of confidence rather than spectacle. It wasn't about proving anything to the public, but about honoring a personal connection built away from the spotlight. For longtime fans, the moment felt symbolic, a reminder that love doesn't follow a script or a timeline. What made this wedding resonate wasn't extravagance, but intention. It stood as a graceful counterpoint to louder celebrity celebrations, offering something rare: privacy, maturity, and quiet joy. In a year filled with spectacle, Kim Cattrall and Russell Thomas delivered a wedding that proved iconic moments don't always need an audience. Number 3. Charli XCX and George Daniel, music royalty unite. When Charli XCX and George Daniel tied the knot, the music world paid attention. Stylish, modern, and undeniably cool, their wedding felt less like a traditional ceremony and more like a cultural moment, a merging of two creative forces who have helped shape the sound of a generation. Both artists are known for pushing boundaries, and their wedding reflected that same spirit. Rather than leaning into spectacle, the celebration balanced intimacy with artistic flair, drawing admiration from fans and fellow musicians alike. It was the kind of event that felt curated without feeling staged, a reflection of shared creativity rather than celebrity excess. For Charli, the moment marked a rare pause in a career defined by constant reinvention and fearless experimentation. For George, it represented a personal milestone reached alongside someone who understands the rhythm of his life and work. Together, they embodied a partnership rooted in collaboration, respect, and mutual inspiration. What made their wedding truly memorable wasn't just who attended or what they wore, it was the feeling it left behind. In an industry often driven by competition and image, Charli XCX and George Daniel reminded everyone that the strongest unions are built not on spotlight, but on shared vision, trust, and creative harmony. Number 2. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, luxury on a global scale. Few weddings in 2025 unfolded on a scale as vast and attention-grabbing as Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's. From the moment details began to surface, it was clear this would not be a quiet celebration tucked away from the world. Set against the historic beauty of Venice, the multi-day event transformed one of Europe's most iconic cities into the backdrop for a modern display of global luxury. Every element of the wedding reflected intention and magnitude, from the carefully curated guest list to the seamless blend of old-world architecture and contemporary elegance. The ceremony felt less like a private affair and more like a moment the world was invited to observe. International media followed every development, turning the wedding wedding into a cultural event that crossed borders far beyond Hollywood. Yet beneath the spectacle was a story of reinvention. For Bezos, the wedding symbolized a new chapter after years defined by corporate dominance, public scrutiny, and personal transformation. For Sanchez, it marked a confident step into a global spotlight, one she embraced with poise, assurance, and a clear sense of identity. Together, they presented a partnership built on ambition, visibility, and shared momentum. Lavish, unapologetic, and impossible to ignore, the wedding wasn't just about wealth or excess. It became a statement about power, influence, and love lived openly on the world's grandest stage. In a year filled with memorable ceremonies, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez delivered one that truly felt global in scale and impact. Number 1. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, the wedding that defined 2025. No celebrity wedding in 2025 captured the world's attention quite like Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's. From the moment their relationship became public, it felt different, quieter, more grounded, and refreshingly sincere in an industry often driven by spectacle. Fans didn't just watch their story unfold, they invested in it. As their relationship progressed, the public response shifted from curiosity to genuine support. There was no rush, no dramatic buildup, just two people growing together away from unnecessary noise. When news of their wedding finally emerged, it felt less like breaking celebrity news and more like the culmination of a journey many had hoped would end this way. The ceremony itself reflected that same energy. Elegant but intimate, it focused on emotion rather than excess. Those close to the couple described the day as warm, deeply personal, and filled with meaning. A celebration centered on connection, trust, and shared history rather than headlines. For Selena, the moment carried profound significance. After years of intense public scrutiny, health challenges, and personal growth, the wedding symbolized stability and peace on her own terms. For Benny, it marked a quiet but powerful step forward, not as a producer behind the scenes, but as a partner fully present beside one of the most recognizable stars in the world. More than any single detail, it was the feeling that lingered. In a year filled with extravagant ceremonies, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco delivered something rarer, a love story that felt real, earned, and unforgettable. These 10 weddings didn't just mark milestones for the couples involved, they captured the emotional heartbeat of 2025. Each celebration reflected a different kind of love, long-earned, unexpected, deeply personal, or boldly public. What made these weddings truly memorable wasn't the venues, the fashion, or the headlines. It was the meaning behind them. In a world that often moves too fast, these moments reminded us to pause, celebrate connection, and believe in new beginnings. As the year comes to a close, these love stories stand as some of its brightest highlights, not because they belonged to celebrities, but because they felt human. Which wedding surprised you the most? And which love story stayed with you long after the headlines faded? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable moments from the year that was.